Unfortunately, the agencies that actually market final expense sales will give you a lot of conflicting information. One agency is going to tell you that you should definitely work final expense direct mail leads right from the start. Others are going to tell you, no. Final expense Facebook leads are definitely the way to go. Some are pimping out the old final expense telesales, don't get me started on that nonsense, while others want to only work with agents that are selling face-to-face. For most people, sales is not easy. Even the easiest type of sale that I've ever made in my lifetime sales history, final expense sales. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you my opinion on the easiest way to sell final expense insurance so that now you don't have to listen to any of that marketing drivel anymore, and you can get out there and actually make a nice living selling final expense life insurance. Coming up next. I'm Douglas Massi, and let me assure you, when I first got into final expense sales, everything that I thought that made sense about the final expense industry was pretty much nonsense or fake news. It was wrong. The dude that was teaching me the business was just passing on mostly marketing drivel designed to motivate and get me to get on out there and make some sales. Thankfully, it didn't take very long for me to realize that he had probably never even sold a final expense policy in his entire life and was just a recruiter that did weekly training calls based on what he thought he knew about the industry. It took us several months to uncover a system that actually worked, my wife and myself, and the best way to approach our final expense prospects. So, before I share with you the easiest way to sell final expense insurance, this is when I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys right now, give us a big old thumbs up so we know you're actually watching. YouTube likes that. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, you should definitely do so right now, as we're putting out a lot of true final expense sales training videos regularly and pretty much something every week. If you'll smash down on that bell-looking thing that's down there next to the subscribe button, that will assure that you're actually notified every time we put out a new final expense training video. Check this out. One of the best documents that I've ever put together is the medical questions page. All the agents on our sales team use this bad boy to help find out what product to show the client based on not only their health, but the form of payment that they're going to be using. It's very important for every final expense agent to have this document. If you'd like a copy, you're going to need to hang around all the way to the end of the video, but at that point I'm going to show you how to obtain this dude for yourself. Allow me to start off by stating that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to face-to-face final expense sales. So I am speaking in general and to most of you. And since direct mail final expense leads are the most expensive type of lead, I mean, they're the best, but they're most expensive, I don't suggest working direct mail leads if you're a brand new agent with zero life insurance sales experience. When I meet with newly licensed agents, I generally suggest that they start off by first committing to working at least 20 fresh, brand new final expense Facebook leads every single week for at least the first month or two while they're cutting through the learning curve. And second, no matter how good or bad you do during your first month or two, keep going and do not give up so that you can actually make it to the other side of that learning curve. I understand that the first few months is always going to be the hardest at any business, whether it's life insurance sales, health insurance sales, real estate sales, or even the easiest type of sale that I've ever done, final expense sales. What happens is we all make silly mistakes when we're new at any business, all of us. And yes, you will blow some very, very easy sales just because you're green, and experience is learned. That's the only way we get experience, so it can only come with time. With all that being said, when it's all said and done, the easiest way to sell final expense is just to take your darn lead right up to the prospect's house, bang on the front door, don't listen to any of the nonsense, and get your butt in that house and make your final expense presentation. Forget about calling the leads to set appointments. These folks are going to be very hesitant about taking the appointment, and let's put it this way. If you're not solid on the phone, I mean, if you're not a stone cold killer, a master at setting appointments, you're probably not going to do very well at getting these people to take the darn appointment. Then you'll just get discouraged, and the next thing you know, you're starting to have doubts, and before you even get started or know anything about final expense sales, you're considering whether you want to keep going or not. This is why most agents just take a printout of either their Facebook lead, direct mail lead, or even their final expense telemarketed lead right to the client's house, stick it right in the prospect's face, and use it to get in there and close that sale. One thing that was true 7 years ago that's still true today is that you first need to become a master at door knocking leads before you consider calling to set appointments. When Mariana, my wife, and I first started selling final expense, we didn't make one phone call for at least, it was probably around 6 or 8 months. We mastered the art of door knocking and ended up being really good at it. That's why we had so much success right up front. Here's my hot tip of the day. When you're out in the field door knocking leads, make sure to leave your sales book in the car. I know when I'm out banging on doors, all I have with me is a stack of the leads along with a few copies of the medical question page that I mentioned earlier, the one that I'll give you if you hang around to the end of the video. You can even have a laminated copy of the guarantees of whole life insurance, this bad boy right here, you can see it, clipped to the back of your lead, so that way you've got it and you're ready to go over it with the prospect before you even consider doing the pricing. I like to make the first part of the presentation, and this is what I teach the agents on our sales team to do. Find the need for the insurance. Get the client into buying mode, and when it comes time to figure out the pricing and time to write out all the cost of the death benefit options, I'll say something like, okay, Sarah and Steve, I'm going to go out to the car and grab my book. I'll be right back. Let's see if we can do something really good for you guys. At that point, I'll go to the car, grab my sales book, come back in, I'll hand them a laminated copy of the I Am Your Policy with the 8 reasons seniors purchase final expense insurance on the back side, and make sure that both of these folks, both the people that I'm sitting with, if it's a couple, read both sides of the card. That way, the idea is I give them that document to read while I'm sitting there doing the pricing, because I don't want them walking around the house or wandering around doing other things and losing my attention. At this point, I get them to pick an option. If they give me any resistance at all, no problem. I go right down to doing a price drop close. I lower the price and do my little price drop close method that we teach all of our agents. Once I get them to pick the option, I just tell them to go ahead and grab their ID for me. Easy peasy. Oh man, I hate it when people say that. Easy peasy. What the heck is that nonsense? Nothing's easy peasy. This business is definitely not easy peasy. For most people, there's nothing easy about our business, but it's really simple if you have a good work ethic and if you follow the system that's been laid out for you by others that have had success with that system. A system like the one that I've perfected at United Final Expense Services. Guys, if you'd like a copy of the medication question page that I use to get all the medical information for everyone I sell to, just shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. For information on joining our final expense sales team, just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get on out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.